NBC's Brian Moore, who is there, right there on the steps there of the Lincoln Memorial, just outside that area. Okay, so Brian, tell me what you're seeing there. You know, earlier when I talked to you, I asked you to look at the signs and to see what people were going to be most vocal about, and I was assuming it was going to be jobs, and that's not necessarily what you were seeing. Has any of that changed?
Well, this is called One Nation Working Together, and jobs really is the headline of this story. But if you look at the body to fine print, there are a lot of issues. There are literally hundreds of groups here that are banding together. A patchwork of progressives who, let's just look at one lady who had a T-shirt on that said, "Shut down Guantanamo," and she was carrying a jobs, justice, peace sign, and just a short ways away from her was a sign about immigration and another sign about gays in the military. But these are many issues that I think Randi Weingarten from the American Federation of Teachers really put it best. All of these issues come together and dovetail into one. And they're talking about jobs. Also, education is one of the big issues here today that many of these people are very worried about. They say jobs and justice really stem from education. Here's the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Cannot scapegoat teachers. We need to hold them accountable. But there's a difference between accountability and union busting. That's why Randi Weingarten and I are going on the road. We want to straighten out our schools, but we need teachers and parents and students to work together.
Education, equality, jobs, but everyone here has an eye on the midterm elections a month away. Alex, people here are fired up. They have a message. They have many messages, and they hope the people in Congress are listening.
Yeah. And, Brian, can you give a guesstimate as to how many people you think there are on the mall? We've been watching with our cameras trained over the last couple of hours. You see, I'm terrible at that, too. So you're shaking your head. You're like, I don't think so, Alex. But it definitely has grown. This thing started officially about an hour ago. It had rather a gentle start. That first hour was filled with some prayers and some call to action, some poems, some dancing. But these big speeches seem to have gathered a lot more people. Would you say at least that's true?
Absolutely. There are people who have been sort of switching sides of the iconic reflecting pool. One side was really packed up. You could see where many of these hundreds, if not thousands of buses were letting people get out, and they sort of ended up crowded onto one side of the reflecting pool, but not so much on the other. Now it's sort of filling in all the way back to the World War II Memorial. And it Alex, is quicksand to ever estimate one of these rally sizes, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's many thousands of people. Definitely a respectable gathering here today, a large crowd of people, one nation, at least this group, working together.